Go ahead and do another one. One down here. Good morning, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel, this trucking vlog. I'm out here in my shop right now, and I was cleaning up a little bit, and I wanted to show you this tool that I bought a few weeks ago. I've had a chance to use it, and I'm loving it. It is the Milwaukee M18 1-inch extended anvil impact gun, and it has the D handle. If you type that in on Amazon or anything, you'll be able to find the tool. But it's also 2869-20 for the bare tool, and then 2869-22 HD for the kit, which I bought it in the kit. It's like $1,499 is what I got it for. That comes with two 12 amp hour batteries, a rapid charger, a carrying bag, and a little strap in case you want to like hook it to the lanyard that comes on the tool. But without further ado, let's go ahead and show you this tool and tell you what it's all about. All right, so here it is, the Milwaukee Fuel M18 with the 12 or the heavy duty 12 amp hour battery. It weighs about 23.5 pounds with no battery. I'm sure it weighs close to 30 once you count the 33 millimeter 1-inch and the actual battery weight. It is a pretty heavy unit, but it's comparable to a tool this size. It's about 23.25 inch long, and I think you can get the bare tool for $7.99 if you wanted to go that route. All I buy is Milwaukee. That's all the power tools I buy. But since this is such a big unit, it takes the 12 amp hour batteries, which I had none of, and I could use an extra charger as well. So I went ahead and just bought the whole kit for $14.99. If you look at the prices of the batteries by themselves, they're pretty expensive. So it was, to me, worth it to just go ahead and get the kit and make sure I had all the batteries to do any mobile tire repairs if I need to, or just working around the house. When you use air, those air tools take a lot of air, so the compressor you're going to need, you've got to have a shop with 3-phase power. You're going to have a big compressor, and then you're going to have that big impact gun, bigger hoses and all that. At the end of the day, it was just cheaper to go ahead and buy the Milwaukee Fuel 1-inch impact than actually set my whole shop up just for that application, because the air compressor I have now, it does everything else I need it to do. It just won't run a 1-inch impact. So I went with the extended anvil. They also make them without the extended anvil, but if you're doing tires, that extended anvil really comes into play there. So it was imperative for me to get that. So let's start with the front of this tool. When you press the trigger, it actually has 3 lights right there. So when you press it, it gives you plenty of light to be able to see what you're doing. It comes with the 1-inch anvil. I've got a 1-inch or a 33 millimeter for the lug nuts on the semi, which is what you're going to need. And it says these batteries last for 120 lug nuts. I was working on a dump truck the other day, and it was a quad axle. I was able to take them all off and put them all back on. I believe all but 1 or 2 tires that didn't need taking off, and it did it all easily. I wasn't out of battery. I still had like 2 bars left. So, I mean, you can do the math on that. I didn't, so, I'm sure y'all don't want to hear me sitting there counting on my fingers and toes trying to figure it out. It's 2,000 foot-pounds of nut-busting torque, and it's 1,900 fastening torque, which was by far the strongest out there. I believe somebody else just came out with a different one. I believe it's Ingersoll and Rand, but it takes 2 batteries, and I believe they say it can do 3,000 nut busting. But what really sold me on this was the one key that this unit comes with. So all you do is download an app, and on that app you actually can reconfigure a lot of the tools, like RPMs and stuff like that. But when you go to number 4, it has a easily clickable. You just download the app, you go into the tool, and you can switch it to lug nut mode, which as you're putting the lug nuts on, it automatically stops between it's pretty close to 450. They say from 350 to 450, but every time I put the torque wrench on it, it was right at or pretty close to 450, which excuse me, but which if you're doing lug nuts, you know that you've got a lot of time and effort into getting that torque wrench out and making sure each one is to 450. But with this, it makes it a whole lot easier. They're all fairly close. You can put the torque wrench on if you want to, and get them completely accurate. But how I found it worked, after the first time I used it, I checked them all with the torque wrench, and they were all really close. I went ahead and started going around a second time. So after I got them all tight, I went ahead and put it back on and tightened them again, just to make sure they were close, and I feel like that's going to do pretty well. I haven't had any that were actually stuck on, which I used to use the 1/2-inch high torque by Milwaukee, and I went to do the brakes on my trailer in a parking lot, and I got 1.5 wheels off, or lug nuts off, so like 15 lug nuts, and then the rest, it wouldn't even budge it, even with the fresh battery. I could not get it to take it off. So I ended up having to buy like a torque multiplier from Northern Tool, and it got the job done. But honestly, sitting there cranking it, I was sweating. It was like 108 that day. Thought I was going to die out in the parking lot. It wasn't worth it. And then I went out and bought this like a month later. So by far my favorite tool that I have by Milwaukee. It gets the job done, and it keeps me from running into problems like I did in the past. But yeah, that lug nut mode is amazing. I've never had it not take one off, even off of some older trucks that hadn't had the wheels off in a while. Like my buddy just bought a dump truck, and when I was taking those off, the wheels were rusty. Like, it was just bad, but it took them off no problem. But yeah, I think you can also customize your torque levels within that app as well. And then, you can manage your tool. You can see if it's missing, or you can see all kinds of information on it. I haven't messed with it that much, except to go on there, turned on the lug nut mode, and it's set like that for now on until I go back in and change it. But yeah, here it is. 2 batteries, a charger, and a carrying case for $14.99. Let's go over basic functions of the machine. So this button up here where your thumb is, that's to forward and reverse. This D handle is rotatable, and you can turn it forward. You just got to twist this knob, but I actually like it where it's set. It is heavy and it does get tiresome, so occasionally I'll twist the handle around and use my other arm. This right here is where your settings are, which if you're not doing semi tires or heavy diesel equipment, then you probably shouldn't be using this on like a car or anything. It's way too much torque. But you just press this button. That's on level 4, so level 4 is the 1 key, and I've got it set up on lug nut mode. Oh, excuse me, that was level 1. Oh, where? All right, that's level 1, level 2, level 3, and level 4. And on 4 is the lug nut mode. So I usually take it off on 3, put it on 4. And like I said, it's worked perfectly. So let's go ahead and take this to my truck. I'll show you it taking one or two off. And I would show you more, but I mean, it's taking them all off. Mine have been off recently, so it's no surprise that it is going to take it off. But I'll show you how it works. Oh, one other thing before we go. On this unit, the battery wobbles around, and what did there was put a battery isolator. Since this machine moves so much, they put a battery isolator there so that can shake independently from the rest of the machine to help keep your battery and everything working properly. So you just slide it in there like every other tool. The lights come on, and let's go take a look. All right, so we're out here on my front drive axle. So you put it in reverse, make sure the triangle is pointed backwards. I've got it in it's kind of hard to see at this angle. There we go. I got it on 3. Just line it up with the lug nut, and it takes it off no problem. Let's go ahead and do another one. One down here. And then we'll go ahead and put it on. Turn it to 4, which is your lug nut mode. Line that thing up. And that's it. So it's shutting off on its own. That's not me. All right, guys, so I'll leave a link in the description to this tool on Amazon. It is an affiliate link, so if you do end up clicking it and buying one, it does help me out. I just want to be upfront and honest about that, but I really do love the tool. I'm glad I bought it. It's going to save me a lot of headache, heartache, and trouble when my 1/2 inch just won't cut it. I used to carry the 1/2 inch in my truck, and I may still do that because I have changed the tire on the side of the road myself. I do carry a spare in the truck, so it just makes sense to bring an impact gun in a 20-ton bottle jack and do it myself. But I'll probably still do that for emergencies, but for the shop, this tool was by far an amazing purchase. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, I'll leave the link in the description. If you could, please like and subscribe if you found this video helpful. And thanks for watching. I hope you come back.